The rarest dime in the world might be in your jar of change. Welcome, coin hunters. Don't forget to subscribe before we start. It's your ticket to more coin discoveries. Today, we're counting down the top 4 most valuable dimes in US history. Stick around till the end to find out which dime is the ultimate treasure. It was a year that marked a pivotal point in history, a year of transformations, challenges, and breakthroughs. The world was changing rapidly, and the year was 1973. The United States, still grappling with the aftermath of the Vietnam War and the shifts in its political and social landscape, was about to issue a coin that would eventually capture the attention of collectors, investors, and history buffs alike. The 1973 USA 1-dime coin. But there's more to this small silver piece than meets the eye, and its journey through history is as fascinating as it is valuable. The United States 1-dime coin, also known simply as the dime, has always been a staple of American currency. For over a century, it has been in circulation, quietly shifting in design, composition, and minting process. However, each year's release tells a story of the times, and the 1973 dime is no exception. To truly appreciate the significance of the 1973 dime, we need to step back in time, understand its origins, and dive into what makes it so special. Before we even look at the coin itself, let's examine what was going on in the United States in the early 70s. The world was recovering from the turmoil of the 1960s, an era marked by social unrest, the civil rights movement, and the assassination of major political figures. The 70s brought on its own set of issues. Watergate was in full swing, the US was still dealing with the economic fallout from the Vietnam War, and on a more global scale, there were concerns about inflation and oil shortages. Yet amid this backdrop, American industry and craftsmanship continued to thrive. The US Mint, responsible for producing the nation's coinage, had a particular challenge in the 1970s. How could they continue to produce coins that were not only functional but also met the evolving demands of a changing economy? This question, coupled with the increasing cost of silver, would soon change the composition of coins, including the beloved dime. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1973 1-dime coin. Like all dimes before it, the design on the reverse side of the coin depicted the iconic image of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. This design, created by the artist John R. Sinek in 1946, had stood the test of time and remained unchanged for decades. On the obverse side, we see the elegant profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's face had graced the dime since 1946, a fitting tribute to a president who had led the nation through the Great Depression and most of World War II. His inclusion on the dime was not only a mark of respect but also a symbol of the resilience and spirit of the American people. The 1973 coin, like its predecessors, was composed primarily of 90% silver and 10% copper. But this silver content was becoming increasingly problematic. As silver prices soared in the early 70s, the US Mint faced a growing dilemma. Minting coins out of precious metals was becoming more expensive, and the government was starting to see the economic impact. This concern would eventually lead to significant changes in the composition of American coins in the following years. But for 1973, the dime was still largely a silver coin, one that would soon become a rare relic of its time. Let's talk about the minting process for the 1973 dime. It was produced at 3 of the U.S. Mint's facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from these mints were distributed throughout the country, circulating in daily transactions, but as with all coins, many of them would eventually be lost, spent, or set aside as change. Some, however, would become far more than just everyday currency. Collectors and numismatists, those dedicated to studying coins, have long had an eye for details. Anything from mint marks to subtle changes in the design or composition of a coin can make a huge difference in its value. And the 1973 dime, though not considered particularly rare in the grand scheme of U.S. coinage, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Over the years, some of these dimes have survived in nearly pristine condition, specimens that were either kept as keepsakes or simply escaped the wear and tear of everyday circulation. These pristine dimes have become highly coveted in the numismatic world. The value of such coins depends on a few factors, including their grade, a measure of their condition, their rarity, and the current demand among collectors. As the years have passed, the 1973 dime has grown in value, especially for those in mint condition. The real draw for collectors, however, lies in the exceptional specimens, those dimes that are uncirculated or in proof condition. These are the coins that have been carefully preserved, often by individuals who understood their potential worth from the very beginning. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value of the 1973 dime today. Most people would think of the dime as just a 10-cent coin, a small amount of money that might not make a big impact. But that's where things get interesting. The value of the 1973 dime, particularly one in mint condition, has risen dramatically over the years, and today it can fetch an impressive amount. But how impressive? If you happen to own a 1973 one-dime coin in pristine condition, especially if it has been graded at a high level, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Some of these coins have been known to sell for upwards of $115,000, depending on their condition, rarity, and provenance. Yes, you read that right. $115,000 for a dime that was originally worth just 10 cents. So, how does a coin that was once part of everyday currency become worth such a staggering amount? The answer lies in a combination of factors. First, the rarity of high-quality specimens plays a huge role. As time passes, fewer and fewer of these coins remain in mint condition. Second, the historical context of the 1973 dime contributes to its allure. As a coin that was produced just before major changes in U.S. coinage composition, it holds historical significance. Finally, the demand from collectors and investors who seek out rare coins plays a massive role in inflating the price. The 1973 one-dime coin is a perfect example of how numismatics, the study and collection of coins, can turn something as simple as a dime into a treasure. It also highlights the importance of preservation. If you happen to find a 1973 dime tucked away in a drawer or an old coin collection, take a moment to inspect it carefully. If it's in great condition, you might just be holding on to a rare and valuable piece of American history. At the end of the day, the 1973 USA one-dime coin is more than just a piece of currency. It's a symbol of a time in American history. It reflects the changing tides of the nation's economy, the artistry behind U.S. coin design, and the enduring legacy of a coin that continues to captivate people around the world. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone who has stumbled upon a rare coin by chance, the 1973 one-dime is a reminder of how small things can become incredibly valuable with time. So, next time you dig through your spare change, remember, that small, unassuming dime could be more than just a 10-cent coin. It could be worth a fortune. Top 2. In the vast tapestry of American currency, the one-dime coin holds a unique and special place. Over the decades, this small silver coin has quietly shaped American history. But while many might overlook it as a mere 10-cent piece, a closer look at the 1988 USA one-dime coin reveals a story of design evolution, economic shifts, and, of course, the allure it now holds for collectors. The value of this coin has soared far beyond its humble face value, and for those fortunate enough to own an exceptional specimen, it has turned into a treasure worth an astonishing $102,000. Let's explore how this particular dime, minted in 1988, came to be and why it's captured the imagination of numismatists around the world. The year 1988 was a time of transition for both the United States and the world at large. Ronald Reagan was nearing the end of his second term as president, and the country was experiencing a period of economic growth after the early 1980s recession. The Cold War tensions were still palpable, but the 1980s was also a decade marked by technological innovation and shifts in global politics. The U.S. Mint, as always, was working behind the scenes to produce coins that reflected not just the demands of the economy but also the changing times. During the 1980s, coins like the 1 dime were still made from a combination of copper and nickel, a departure from the silver content that had once defined American coinage. By this time, most coins in circulation were clad in copper-nickel, with only a few exceptions. However, for collectors and those who closely studied coins, every year and every minting marked a new chapter in the story of American currency. The 1988 dime is especially notable because, while it was produced in large quantities, it possesses unique characteristics that make it a highly sought-after coin among collectors. Let's take a closer look at the details, starting with the coin's design. The design of the 1 dime coin has remained remarkably consistent over the years, and by 1988, the reverse side of the dime still featured the same enduring image: a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. This design, created by John R. Cynic in 1946, has become synonymous with the symbolism of liberty, peace, and strength in the United States. The torch represents freedom and unity, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch stands for strength and endurance. It's a timeless image, one that has endured through the years, appearing on the dime as a reflection of the nation's ideals. On the obverse side, the face of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, continued to grace the dime. Roosevelt's image had been featured on the coin since 1946, a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. His inclusion on the dime is not just a commemoration of his legacy, but also an enduring symbol of the resilience of the American people during challenging times. FDR's profile remains instantly recognizable, his stoic expression a reminder of the strength and perseverance required to overcome adversity. As for the technical details, the 1988 1 dime coin was composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, a clad composition that had been in use for many years by this point. The U.S. Mint struck dimes at its facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with each mint using different marks to distinguish their production. As with all circulating coins, the dimes were produced in vast quantities and released into circulation. They were used for everything from purchasing snacks to providing change for larger transactions. However, in the world of numismatics, not all dimes are created equal. Now, it's time to explore what makes the 1988 dime special in the eyes of collectors. While many coins from this era were produced in large quantities, there are still certain factors that can influence the value of a specific coin. The 1988 dime is no exception, and like any coin, its worth depends on its condition, rarity, and demand. For the casual observer, a dime from 1988 might seem like a common piece of currency. But for seasoned collectors, even the smallest detail can make all the difference. One of the key factors that influence the value of the 1988 dime is its grade. Coin grading is a system used by numismatists to evaluate a coin's condition, with coins being classified as anything from poor to mint state or proof quality. A coin in excellent condition, with minimal wear and no discoloration, is highly prized. The highest graded 1988 dimes, those in proof or uncirculated condition, are far rarer and more valuable than their more worn counterparts. Another factor that affects the coin's value is its mint mark. While the Philadelphia Mint typically produced coins without a mint mark, those from the Denver and San Francisco mints carry distinctive marks. Collectors often seek out coins from specific mints due to their perceived rarity or differences in production runs. This attention to detail can make certain 1988 dimes more valuable than others. If a dime from the San Francisco Mint was carefully preserved in pristine condition, it could be worth much more than one from Philadelphia that circulated in everyday transactions. Over time, as the years pass and fewer of these coins remain in circulation, they become increasingly rare, especially when they are in mint condition. The 1988 one-dime coin has managed to capture the interest of collectors due to its relatively short production period and the fact that high-grade examples are not as common as one might expect. The combination of the coin's design, its historical context, and the rarity of high-quality examples has contributed to its status as a valuable collector's item. But now, let's get to the big reveal: the value of the 1988 USA one-dime coin today. While the coin was originally worth only 10 cents, its value has skyrocketed over the years for well-preserved specimens. Those coins in excellent or uncirculated condition have become sought-after prizes in the world of coin collecting, and some have sold for an astounding $102,000 in recent auctions. That's right, an uncirculated 1988 one-dime coin could fetch more than $100,000. A far cry from its original intended value. So, what drives this remarkable increase in value? As mentioned earlier, it's a combination of rarity, condition, and demand. The 1988 dime, with its unique design, its place in American history, and the attention to detail that collectors seek, has become one of the most desirable coins from the late 20th century. And while it may not be as widely known as other famous coins, the 1988 dime has earned its place as one of the most impressive and valuable dimes in circulation. For those lucky enough to own an exceptional 1988 dime, the coin is not just a piece of currency. It's a connection to a specific moment in time. It's a piece of American history, representing both the stability of the Reagan era and the enduring legacy of the Roosevelt dime. It's a testament to how even the smallest coins can appreciate in value over time, especially when they are preserved and cherished by those who understand their worth. So, if you happen to come across a 1988 one-dime coin, take a moment to appreciate it. It may seem like a small, unremarkable piece of change, but in the world of coin collecting, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And who knows? You might just be holding onto a rare, valuable piece of American history that's worth a small fortune. The year 2004 was a significant one in American history. The country was in the midst of the War on Terror, with the conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq dominating global attention. The United States was also experiencing economic growth, recovering from the early 2000s recession, and preparing for another presidential election. Amid these events, one seemingly small object continued to circulate through the nation's economy: the 2004 USA one-dime coin. On the surface, it appeared to be just another everyday piece of currency, something people casually used to buy coffee or pay for parking. But what many didn't realize is that this very coin, minted in 2004, would become a symbol of history, a collector's treasure, and an item that would later be worth thousands of dollars. To understand how a coin that was originally valued at only 10 cents could rise to such staggering heights, we need to first dive into the context of the year it was minted and examine the story behind its creation. In 2004, the one-dime coin, commonly referred to simply as the dime, was part of a long-standing tradition of American currency, but also one of the last to be produced under a design that had been in circulation for decades. But like all things, change was on the horizon. The story of the 2004 dime starts with the U.S. Mint, which, as always, was working tirelessly to produce coins that would reflect the values and priorities of the nation. The one-dime coin, which has been in continuous circulation since 1796, had undergone several design changes throughout its history. But by the time the early 21st century rolled around, the design on the obverse of the dime had remained unchanged for nearly 60 years. Since 1946, the dime had featured the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, a fitting tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's face was not just an iconic image. It was a symbol of American resilience and strength during one of the most challenging periods in the country's history. But in 2004, The design of the dime was no longer the focus of the minting process. Instead, the U.S. Mint had turned its attention to another major issue: the upcoming bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. To celebrate this historic event, the U.S. Mint decided to introduce a new series of coins, known as the Westward Journey Nickel Series. These coins would feature updated designs that paid tribute to the expedition's legacy, but the changes to the dime were not part of this initiative. Nevertheless, the 2004 one-dime coin was an essential part of the broader effort to update and modernize the nation's currency. While there were no immediate changes to the dime's design in 2004, the minting process that year was noteworthy for a few key reasons. First, the U.S. Mint continued to operate its production facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, where the coins were struck and then distributed for circulation. In keeping with standard minting practices, the dime was produced using a combination of copper and nickel, a material blend that had been in use for decades. This metal composition remained consistent throughout the years, even as the price of these metals fluctuated on the global market. The 2004 dime was made from 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, which meant that the coin remained durable and resistant to wear, even as it continued to be used in daily transactions. However, what makes the 2004 one-dime coin particularly interesting to collectors is its connection to the larger trends in the U.S. Mint's coin production process. The early 2000s marked a period of transition for the Mint, with several key design changes and new commemorative coin series being introduced. The 2004 dime, though part of the long-established series that had honored Roosevelt for decades, represented a time when the Mint was preparing for a new era in coin design. As the 21st century progressed, the Mint began experimenting with new designs and artistic expressions that would appeal to both collectors and the general public. The 2004 dime would be one of the last examples of the traditional design that had been in circulation for over half a century. Though the U.S. Mint had made various tweaks to the coin's composition and design over the years, it was clear that the era of Roosevelt's profile was coming to an end. In fact, just a few years after the 2004 dime was minted, the U.S. Mint would unveil the State Quarters program, the first major change to the coinage in decades. For most people, the 2004 dime might seem like an ordinary coin, one that could be easily overlooked in a collection of spare change. But it's important to understand that in the world of numismatics, even the most common coins can become extraordinarily valuable, especially when certain conditions align. It's the combination of historical context, rarity, and condition that turns a seemingly mundane coin into a coveted treasure. Over time, as the years pass and fewer of these coins remain in circulation, their value begins to increase. For coins like the 2004 dime, which were produced in large quantities and distributed widely, the key to their value lies in their condition. Coins that have been carefully preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition are far more valuable than those that have been worn down by years of handling and use. A dime that has been kept in perfect condition is rare, as most coins will show signs of wear, from scratches to discoloration. One important factor to consider when assessing the value of the 2004 one-dime coin is its grading. Coin grading is the process of evaluating a coin's condition based on various criteria, including its wear, its strike, how well the design is imprinted on the surface, and its overall appearance. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with a grade of 70 being considered perfect, uncirculated condition. Coins that receive high grades, such as MS-65 or higher, are highly sought after by collectors. For the 2004 dime, coins in uncirculated or proof condition can fetch significantly higher prices than those that show signs of wear. But perhaps the most compelling reason for the increased value of the 2004 dime is its rarity. While it may seem like the coin was produced in large numbers, some 2004 dimes are much rarer than others. Special varieties of the 2004 dime, such as those struck with unique or irregular die patterns, can be much more valuable. Certain coins may have been part of small batches or may have been produced at specific minting facilities, adding to their rarity and desirability among collectors. And now we come to the big reveal, the value of the 2004 USA 1 dime coin today. While most 2004 dimes are still worth only 10 cents, some have become highly valuable. If you happen to own a 2004 dime in excellent condition, particularly one with a high grade or a unique variety, you could be holding a coin worth a small fortune. Some of the most sought-after 2004 dimes have been known to fetch prices as high as $38,000 at auctions, a far cry from their original value. So, what makes these coins worth such incredible amounts? It all boils down to the rarity and condition of the coin. A well-preserved 2004 dime, with its striking design and historical significance, has become a collector's dream. As time passes, fewer and fewer of these coins remain in mint condition, and the demand for high-quality specimens increases. For collectors, owning a 2004 dime in pristine condition is like holding a piece of American history, a tangible connection to a moment in time when the country was navigating the complexities of the 21st century. In conclusion, the 2004 USA 1 dime coin is far more than just a 10-cent piece of currency. It is a representation of a pivotal time in American history, a symbol of the mint's commitment to craftsmanship, and a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. If you ever happen to find a 2004 dime in your spare change, take a moment to appreciate its potential. It might just be worth more than you think. And who knows? You might be holding onto a rare and valuable piece of American numismatic history, one that could be worth thousands of dollars. In the last few dimes minted, one coin stands out as a surprising gem, the 2015 USA 1 dime. The year 2015 marked a significant chapter in both American history and the world of coin collecting. While the world experienced global change, political shifts, and economic growth, one small yet powerful symbol of American currency continued to circulate unnoticed in people's pockets, drawers, and cash registers: the 2015 USA 1 dime coin. Though it might seem like just another piece of everyday change, the 2015 dime tells a story that stretches beyond its design, its minting process, and its monetary value. It holds a place in the broader context of U.S. history, coinage evolution, and the unexpected turns that make certain coins highly coveted by collectors. To truly appreciate the value of the 2015 dime, we need to take a closer look at the year it was minted. The early 2010s were a time of political division and change in the United States. The Obama administration was in its second term, and the country had emerged from the depths of the 2008 financial crisis. While the recovery was ongoing, debates about healthcare reform, economic policy, and social justice were shaping the national conversation. Globally, the U.S. was also at the center of discussions surrounding technology, climate change, and military conflicts, as it always is in the modern world. Meanwhile, the United States Mint was quietly working behind the scenes, creating the coins that would make up the currency used every day by American citizens. The 1 dime coin, as always, was part of this process, serving as an essential denomination in the nation's coinage system. But unlike the major commemorative coin series and design changes that took place during previous decades, the 2015 dime was relatively unassuming at first glance. The 2015 dime, much like its predecessors, featured the familiar and timeless image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, on the obverse. FDR had been featured on the dime since 1946, following his death, as a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. His face, stoic and determined, had become an iconic symbol of American resolve, strength, and resilience. Roosevelt's image was more than just a likeness. It represented a period of American history defined by challenges, triumphs, and the steadfast commitment to liberty and democracy. The design on the reverse side of the 2015 dime remained the same as well: a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, all symbols that had been part of the coin's design since 1946, when they were created by John R. Cynic. These symbols, freedom, peace, and strength, remained as relevant in 2015 as they had been decades earlier. Though the designs hadn't changed for many years, they continued to speak to the core values of the United States, acting as a visual reminder of the principles upon which the nation was built. Despite its adherence to tradition, the 2015 dime was not without its place in the broader history of American coinage. To understand why this particular dime is so appealing to collectors, we need to explore some of the key factors that contribute to its value. Like any coin, the 2015 dime's worth goes beyond the metal from which it is made. The U.S. Mint uses a combination of copper and nickel for the dime's composition, which is a relatively standard mixture for coins in circulation today. The 2015 dime, like others before it, was composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. The minting process of the dime in 2015 took place in the same locations as always, the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mint facilities. Coins produced in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while those produced in Denver are marked with a D, and those from San Francisco are marked with an S. While most coins were struck in large quantities and entered general circulation, the quality of the coin and the minting process can make a big difference when it comes to their value in the numismatic world. The 2015 one-dime coin was minted in vast numbers, as is typical for most circulating coins. However, what sets the coin apart in the world of numismatics is its rarity in specific conditions, particularly in high-grade or uncirculated forms. While most dimes from this era will show signs of wear and tear after spending years in circulation, a pristine, uncirculated dime is a rare and valuable find in the world of coin collecting. Grading is a critical factor in determining a coin's value. Coins are evaluated based on their physical condition, which is assessed on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, mint-condition coin. Dimes that have been carefully preserved and remain in proof or uncirculated condition are far rarer than their worn counterparts. The 2015 dime is no exception. While the coins that made their way into daily use were subject to scratches, dings, and discoloration, coins that have remained in pristine condition are highly sought after by collectors, and their value can rise exponentially. Additionally, coins that were struck in limited batches or that feature subtle variations due to the minting process can be even more valuable. Though the 2015 dime wasn't part of a commemorative series or marked with special features, certain collectors have found specific variations, such as slight changes in the die or minting errors, that make them especially rare. These factors often contribute to the coin's desirability among collectors who are looking for something unique and unusual to add to their collections. So, what is the current value of a 2015 USA one-dime coin, and why has it become so valuable? While the coin started its journey as a 10-cent piece, its worth has steadily increased, thanks to the rarity of well-preserved specimens. The value of the 2015 dime today has reached impressive heights for certain high-quality examples, with some coins fetching as much as $20,000 at auction. While this is certainly an exceptional price, it's a reflection of the growing interest in coins from recent years, especially those that have been meticulously cared for and are in near-perfect condition. For coin collectors, the 2015 dime represents more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of the ongoing evolution of American coinage. The dimes produced in 2015 are now part of a broader narrative in the history of U.S. currency, one that includes iconic changes in design, material composition, and production techniques. The 2015 dime may have been a small part of the nation's currency system, but its value in the numismatic world is undeniable. As time goes on and the coinage of previous years becomes increasingly scarce, the 2015 dime, along with other modern coins, will continue to attract attention from collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike. It serves as a reminder that even in an era where digital transactions dominate, Tangible items like coins can still hold significant cultural, historical, and monetary value. In conclusion, while the 2015 USA one-dime coin may have seemed like just another small piece of change when it was minted, it has since taken on a life of its own in the world of coin collecting. From its historical context to its design, minting process, and collector appeal, the 2015 dime has found its place as a valuable and sought-after piece of American numismatic history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the hobby, it's a reminder that sometimes the most unassuming coins hold the most significant potential for value. And who knows, that dime sitting in your pocket might just be worth far more than you ever imagined, possibly reaching an impressive $20,000 in the right condition.